everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amy. My husband and I are on a debt-free journey, paying off 6 figures worth of student loan debt. And on this channel, I share all about our debt-free journey and our real budget and our real numbers. So today I wanted to do a video that I have not done in the past, and that is how I reconcile our budget monthly. So this is something that I do at the end of every month, usually like the first week of the month after. And what I do first is I pull all of our statements. So my husband and I primarily have 3 accounts. We have one savings account, a high yield savings account. We have one checking account, a joint checking account, and then we also have our credit card that we primarily use for expenses. So I pull the statements from our checking and our credit card, and I reconcile our budget and make sure that we were in bounds on our budget, and kind of just decide if I feel like these budget numbers are still realistic for us. And then I do our next month budget. So today I'm gonna just walk you through this process. I did fill in some of these numbers just to save a little bit of time, because I'm sure that you guys don't want me to see me writing all of these numbers by hand in the video. So this will just save us a little bit of time. So the first thing that I do is I figure out our total income for the month. So we did have some additional sources of income this month. So these 3 on the bottom are not planned income. So we did have a 5th paycheck. I never budget for this. I end up just utilizing it for whatever our financial goal is at that time. So obviously for this month, we did primarily put that towards debt, which you will see when we reconcile. We also got the stimulus check, and I had some side hustle income. So the side hustle income, I go into detail of what exactly that includes in my January debt payoff video. I will link above if you want to go watch that to see more detail about the side hustle income. So the first thing I do is just fill in the actual amounts. So our normal day-to-day paychecks do not change very much. So these all stayed pretty similar. I do just round these off just for the ease of writing it. They are a little bit different than this. They're not perfect, but we do also, like, I actually round off in my budget just because I like to have a buffer, and we do sometimes dip into that buffer, which you will see this month because we did go over budget in a couple of areas. I did already explain that on Instagram, so if you follow me there, you might already know which areas we went over in, but I will give more detail when we get to that. So we did have that 5th paycheck, which was $1,650, and the stimulus check, $2,400. We are a family of 4. And then side hustle income was $288. So this 5th paycheck is different because whenever we have a 5th paycheck, our deductions aren't taken. So whoever's paycheck, it kind of just depends on what deductions they have out of their paycheck. So that's that. So coming down to the actual spending areas. So our internet is stable at 60. That does not change. And then I do have this little area over here, which is percentage of income. So I enjoy this area because it kind of gives me an idea of where my money is going. So, and then it also like allows me to reflect on that. So if I'm not happy with spending 20% on a certain category, then we can reevaluate our budget, and it just gives us a better idea of where we are spending our money. And if those areas are important, then that's great. And if they're not, then we can kind of reevaluate from that point of view. So gas, we did only spend $65 this month. That has been pretty common because of COVID. We are not really driving anywhere. I am working from home. Our budget is actually normally higher than this. I did already adjust it for COVID, and then we kind of just have even been going less than that. So that is 0.6% as well. Groceries and household, this is such a hard category for me. And I know I've talked to so many of you guys that have the same problems as me, especially with kids. It's very difficult for me to stick to a grocery budget. Every few months, I just blow it. So that was this month. And I'm happy because the last few months we have been on budget. And so going over for 1 month is not the end of the world. And that's what we have a buffer for. So we went over $70 on groceries. And to be honest, this is completely because I did not have a good meal plan this month. So I fully believe that if you have a good meal plan, it helps so much with groceries, because I see it. Like, I see it in my own life. Like, if I fail at meal planning, then I usually go over budget because I'm buying things that I maybe don't need, or I'm buying extras of things that I have. And so meal plan, and that's what I'm trying to do in February, is just have a more stable meal plan and just try to be better about that. So Next, we had our Ring subscription. So we have a Ring doorbell that we pay once a year, $30 for the like subscription. So that was that. That was 0.3% of our budget. And then miscellaneous. So I get a lot of questions about this and also about my groceries. So this $500 I utilize for groceries and household. And the way that I define that is almost kind of more so by store than anything. So primarily, like if I'm going to Target and I'm picking up a few groceries, or Aldi and I'm picking up a few groceries, and I do pick up like some toilet paper, or we go to Costco and we pick up some toilet paper and some food, that I would all consider under this budget. The Misc budget is typically used for like clothing items or things for our kids, or just other like small things that we don't anticipate. So this is like a buffer also for us if we like miss a subscription or anything like that. So I try to not utilize this full $200 if at all possible, but sometimes we do. And this month we kind of did use a decent amount of it. We used $188, which is on the higher end for us. So that was $12 under budget. We did have some different things go on this month. So we did some construction on our house. We put in some new floors. And so that's another huge part of some of this overage. It was just poor planning. So actually some of this Misc spending was from that. The floors themselves did come out of our home sinking fund. So the flooring is not included in this part of our budget because it was taken directly from our sinking funds, which are down here. This is just the amount that we put in, but we do have balances in all of these as well. Donation, we did send $1,000 of our stimulus check to our local food pantry, which felt really great. I encourage you guys, if you have any extra money, especially during COVID, to try to donate as much as you can, because there's a lot of communities that are really hurting right now. And it felt really good to donate a part of our stimulus check because we definitely have been extremely thankful that we've been working this whole time, and we do not take that for granted. So it felt really, really good to send a chunk of that to donations this month, although it was not initially planned, just because when I wrote our January budget, we weren't sure if we were getting the stimulus check. So that was a difference that just got taken from that extra income. So dining out, another category that we failed at this month. We went over $61, which is okay. A lot of this is because we did not plan well for our floor remodel. So my husband and my dad did that work together, and we ended up not being able to utilize our kitchen for about 2 days. And so we did eat out more than we had planned. And honestly, part of it was just because I was feeling lazy and my husband was tired from working and then doing the floors. And so it was just kind of a hot mess, but you know, it is what it is. We were over this month and we will hopefully not be over next month, but you live and you learn. And these are the important things about doing a budget, because in the future, when we do remodeling projects, I will probably just adjust our budget or try to like meal prep some things so that we're not having to be like in the kitchen. Next up, mortgage. So I don't know why I put $1,300, but I was just rounding it off. Our mortgage is actually $1,253. So that was obviously $47. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at doing math in my head. I'm sorry. Okay, so we're, I guess, under 47, sorry, on our mortgage. That was 12.4% of our income this month. And then personal spending, we give ourselves $100, so that is gone. And that's 1%. Cell phones, $140, that's pretty stable as well. Not much of a change there. 1.4% of our income. Netflix, again, these are pretty standard. They don't really change, although I've heard that Netflix is going up. It hasn't gone up for us yet, but I'm kind of waiting for that to adjust. And then electric, another. It's so hard to live in the Midwest. If you live in the Midwest, leave a comment down below and feel my pain with me for my electric bill, because my goodness. So $225 is what I budgeted. I knew that might have been a little bit low, and sure enough, $236 was our electric bill. My gosh, but it's cold, you guys, and I'm not living in a cold house. I know that we could probably like lower this for sure. I mean, we keep our house pretty warm. We usually keep it at 69 during the day, and then I drop it to like 66 at night. If it was just my husband and I would probably keep it colder, but I have kids, so that's my excuse for keeping my house nice and warm. Although some people think that that's cold, so let me know what you keep your thermostat at. I would love to know, especially if you live in a warmer climate, because I feel like some people that don't live in the Midwest are like, you keep your house at 69? Like, that's so cold. And I'm like, it's warm here. I mean, it's like 12 degrees outside. So for us, it feels warm at this point. So then we're coming down to the sinking funds. So I had originally budgeted $100 for our car sinking fund, and I did contribute more than that. It was $250. Part of our stimulus check did go to that. We had planned on putting a little bit extra towards our car with the stimulus check, so we did end up spending $150 more, and that was 2.5% of our budget. Home sinking fund, we planned 50, we spent 50, and same with Christmas and car insurance as well. Those were all what we had planned. So if you're confused about the car sinking fund, why it might be so high, we are saving up for a car. That is one of our goals for 2021, is to save up for a new to us SUV or van. We have 2 kids and I'm driving a Honda Civic. Y'all, the struggle is real right now with my small car. Like, I am dying for a bigger car. But we are planning to try to pay cash for that. We have, I think, about $6,000 saved up right now, and ideally I would like to get to like 15 to get something that will last us. I don't want to get something with like a ton of miles, because I want to have something that's going to last us for many, many years. I've had my Honda Civic for the last almost 9 years now, and it has been a champ. It has been through the ringer, it has been through 2 kids, and it's pretty gross. So I'm super excited to the day that we can get a new car. So then on the bottom here, oh, debt. So obviously once I reconcile, then whatever is left over, we send to debt. We pay debt weekly. So I kind of like mini reconcile our budget to see what we can send every single week. So we did budget less than that. I think we had originally budgeted like $2,700 from our regular salary, but because we had so much extra income, we were able to send $5,750 to debt in the month of January. What? That is so crazy. I can't believe it. So that is actually 56.7% of our income this month went to debt. So over 50%, that's incredible. We do primarily try to live on one income, just at least for right now, while we're trying to pay off a chunk of our debt. That's kind of been what we've been doing for the last year, is trying to like live off as much as we can on one income, just to help. Oh, and I just realized I forgot to write my total income over here. Oh my goodness. Okay, so total income. Sorry, you guys. I'm like all over the place today. I'm filming this on a Friday and it's just been a really long week. So total income, sorry if I did not cover this. Total income for this month was $10,138. So sending 56% to debt feels really, really great. Definitely in line with our goals. And I would say that pretty much all of these are in line with our goals. I don't see an area that I would really change other than like going over budget in some areas. But you know what? That's bound to happen every few months. And my budget is definitely not perfect. So if you ever feel that I'm like an awesome budgeter or great or perfect or whatever, please, I'm really not. Like, I have so many issues with my own budget as well. So you are not alone in the budget struggle. So down here, I just have this little area of like just kind of an overview of reconciling. So 10,138 was our income. Our expenses were actually over 10,168. So we did have a $30 difference. So this $30 difference will just get taken from our buffer. I try to keep like around $500 as a buffer, where I think we actually have more than that right now, because last month we were under budget in a few categories. So it's something that I keep an eye on just to make sure that we're not like draining it all the way, but it's not something that I focus too much on, just because I feel like the buffer is there to be utilized when I need it. So if I spend, or if I'm taking $30 out, I'm not too worried about it overall. So I hope this video is helpful for you guys. It's my first time doing this budget reconciliation on YouTube. So if you liked this video, let me know and I'll continue to do them in in the future. And again, this is what I do anyway, so it's not really too much extra work for me to film it. So if you guys want to see it, I'm happy to share. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. It really helps out my channel, and I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. Bye.